understand things like justified through our intellectual ability to read Scripture. Big picture of what we're painting in Job is a picture of justification.
Right.
Will help you to see justification more as a picture instead of trying to intellectually understand it through all these verses. Because I could meet a whole lot of theologians that could tell you their view of justified, and it would have nothing to do with what I just said. Right? So you want to let this picture start taking place. So you start getting the picture right? Where you start seeing who's the advocate, who's the accuser, who's the justifier, who's on our side, who's against us, what's the whole thing going down. Man, it really help you in reading all of the scriptures when you start understanding that. Right? When you start understanding redemption and justification and righteousness and all these, and salvation and all these things from this perspective. Right? As God being for us, our advocate, not the one standing against us. Right?
Yes.
Now, what's salvation? Before we thought salvation was we had to be saved from God's anger. But if that wasn't what we were being saved from, you see how it could be a problem? If that's what we think? Now we see, we don't even know who the enemy is.
Right.
We think the enemy was God's anger.
Right.
We think that was the enemy. We still think that's the enemy. It says that in the insurance policies. Hurricane, an act of God.
Right.
God's the enemy. No, man, God was never the enemy. Death has always been the enemy, and God has always been the one trying to save his people from death. That's why he said, you shall call his name Jesus, for he shall save his people from their sin. What does that mean? To save them from death. What's the wages of sin? Death. Who sent Jesus? The devil or God? Why would he send Jesus? Because he wants to save us from death. So what was against us? Death. What was for us? God. That's how we need to start understanding our lives with God. I'm telling you, it's so simple, but it's a powerful thing when your heart becomes persuaded that God is always with you and he's always for you. He's always upholding you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That gives great comfort in the moment of temptation. Right? In the moment of weakness.
Right.
Where if something comes and smacks you in the face. You start realizing that God isn't far from you. He's with you. God isn't the cause of this. God didn't let this happen. God's with me upholding my life. He's even given me his spirit that will cause me to overcome all things, even unto the final day where it causes me to overcome the grave.
Yeah.
Right? You start feeling a strength on the inside, a confidence, a mojo, a swag. You start feeling like the Fonz, right? Where you feel like you don't have to pay for Sprites. You just go hit the Sprite, you know? You don't have to use keys to start the car. You just hit the steering wheel. You start